Hello, welcome to my videos and my blog. In this time, I'm going to talk about the NFL 2024 season, week 9, the scores. Where this weekend and yesterday were played the games of the week 9. So, for that reason, I'm creating this video to talk about what happened in each game and how are the NFL standings are through our 9 weeks of game. But first, I'm apologize because this video is too late because I always record this video when the Monday Night Football finishes or in Tuesday morning, but I was very busy yesterday and today in the morning, and for that reason I'm recording this video until this time. Well, remember that this week there was two teams that had a bye week. My favorite team, my Pittsburgh Steelers, and the San Francisco 49ers, and for that reason uh, in this week there were only 15 games played. So let's start with the first game in the Thursday Night Football, where the Jets did a surprise and defeated the Texans 21-13. About this game, I put as a favorite to the Texans because they in my opinion, they are a better team than the Jets. But I didn't understand why the Las Vegas put Jets as a favorite, and now that I understand where the Jets were the best team, especially in the second half, because in the halftime the Texans were leading, but only by one touchdown difference. But in the second half, the Jets outscored the Texas 21-6, and in the end, the Texas won the game 21-13. With this victory, the Jets improved to a record of 3-6, and the Texas fell to a record of 6-3. And the games that started in the Sunday, the first game, the Carolina Panthers defeated 23-22 the New Orleans Saints. Remember that this was the second game that these two teams played. The first game was played in the week 1, where the Saints humiliated and defeated by 37 points defeated the Panthers. But this game was different. I put as a favorite to the Panthers, and they won it. This was a very bad game played, but in the end, it was a very emotional exciting game, and in the end, the Panthers got the victory in the last second of the game, and they won it 23-22. With this victory, the Panthers improved to a record of 2-7, and the New Orleans Saints fell to a record of 2-7, and they had 7 straight losses. And with this loss, the New Orleans Saints front office decided to fire the New Orleans Saints head coach, Danny Saleh, because this is not possible. How is possible that the Saints have lost 7 consecutive games? And in another divisional game, the Washington Commanders defeated 27-22 the New York Giants. This was the second game because and this was very close, like the first game between these two teams, because the first game was played there in Washington, where the game was defined in the last minutes, in the last second, or in the last play of the game, where the Commanders won that game, even that they didn't score any touchdown. This game was different, where the Commanders were a better team. They had the game under control, but in the last quarter is when the Giants put the motion. They improved his football level, and they almost tied the game, but they couldn't because the Commanders were a better team, and they won the game 27-22. With this victory, the Commanders improved to a record of 7-2, and the Giants fell to a record of 2-7. Another divisional game, the Buffalo Bills only, sorry, defeated the Miami Dolphins 30-27. Like the last two games, this was another divisional game. This was the second game of the season. When these two teams play in the week 2, when in that game the Bills had an easy game and they won it by more than 20 points. And remember that game was when Tua Tagovailoa was injured, concussion. He entered to the concussion protocol and he was out more than 5 weeks. So about this game was very close, to be honest. It was very bored in the first half, because in the first half the Dolphins were leading the game 10-6, but in the second half is when we watched the best game of two teams, where I think that the big difference was in the third quarter, where the Buffalo Bills took advantage because they won that quarter 15-3. for 14-3, and I think that was the big difference. I think that the Dolphins had the error, or that they didn't consume all the time. They left less than 2 minutes to play for the Bills to win the game, because the game was tied 27-27, and in the last second of the game, the Buffalo Bills made a field goal and they won the game 30-27. With this victory, the Buffalo Bills improved to a record at 7-2, and the Miami Dolphins fell to a record at 2-6, and it looked like that the Dolphins are not going to qualify to the playoffs. In another game, the Los Angeles Chargers traveled to Cleveland to defeat the Cleveland Browns 27-10. About this game, the Chargers had an easy game, to be honest. This was a very poor game because two teams haven't been playing a very great football, but the most important is the Chargers have found out ways to win the game. They play a very great football. The Browns play a very bad football, especially in the offense side, where his starting quarterback, Jameis Winston, threw by 3 interceptions, and the Chargers had the game under control in the halftime, where they were leading 23, and the game was over. In the second half, to be specifically in the fourth quarter, each team scored a touchdown, and the Chargers won the game 27-10. With this victory, the Chargers improved to a record of 5-3, and the Cleveland Browns fell to a record of 2-7, and the Cleveland Browns are one of the worst teams in the league. In another game, this was the Tennessee Titans defeated 2017 the New England Patriots in overtime. These two teams are one of the worst teams in the AFC and in the NFL, but this was a very bad game. It was a very poor game, but the most exciting was in the fourth quarter, where in the last second of the game, the New England Patriots found out the way to tie this game, where Drake May scored the touchdown to tie the game in the last second, if not in the last play of the game. It was a very bizarre play, but maybe but Drake May had luck, and he threw a touchdown, and they tied the game, and was for an overtime. In the overtime, the Titans won it because they scored a field goal, and they won the game 2017. With this victory, the Tennessee Titans improved to a record of 2-6, and the New England Patriots fell to a record of 2-7. In another game, the Atlanta Falcons defeated the Dallas Cowboys 27-21. The Atlanta Falcons were a better team than the Dallas Cowboys, that they couldn't win this game. They competed in the first half, but in the second half they couldn't. About this game, I think that the Atlanta Falcons were better team, and they took advantage that the Atlanta Falcons play in home. The best player for the Atlanta Falcons was Kirk Cousins, that he threw by three touchdowns. And about the Dallas Cowboys, they have bad news because that Prescott couldn't finish the game. He got injured in the third quarter, in the last minutes of the third quarter, and he could with a, I think that in an injury in his right hand, but the problem was that he had a hamstring injury, and the most probably is that he's not going to play in several weeks. And the Dallas Cowboys lost this game. They fell to a record of 3-5, and it looks very difficult to qualify to the playoffs, because they won't have Dak Prescott for the next 2 or 3 weeks. And the Atlanta Falcons improved to a record 6-3, and the most probably they're going to win this division, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost yesterday, and it looks like that they're going to win this division. The NFC East. In another game, the Cincinnati Bengals defeated 41-24 Las Vegas Raiders. Now, this game, the Cincinnati Bengals were the best team. The Las Vegas Raiders are one of the worst teams in the league. The Bengals play a very great game, but because the Raiders are a very bad team, the Bengals took advantage that they playing home, and they won the game 41-24. With this victory, the Cincinnati Bengals improved to a record of 5-4. They are one game behind the 500 record, and they are trying to enter to the hunt to enter to the playoffs. And Las Vegas Raiders are one of the worst teams in the league, and they fell to a record of 2-7. In another game, the Baltimore Ravens defeated the Denver Broncos 41-10. Well, this game, The Ravens didn't have any problem to win this game. They dominate the game and they had an easy game. They had the game under control in the halftime where they were leading by 24-point difference, 24-10. In the third quarter, they scored another two touchdowns and they have the game under control in the third quarter and the game was over. In the end, they scored another field goal and they won the game 41-10. The Denver Broncos couldn't compete against the Baltimore Ravens because the Baltimore Ravens, in my opinion, alongside the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning champion team, are the favorite to win the AFC. And the Baltimore Ravens improved to a record 6-3, and the Denver Broncos fell to a record of 5-4. And in another game, the Arizona Cardinals defeated the Chicago Bears 29-9. About this game, I put as a favorite the Cardinals, but I thought that the Chicago Bears were gonna to play a very great game. But not, the Cardinals were better team. The Chicago Bears didn't play a very great football, and they lost this game. The Cardinals the Cardinal defenses didn't allow any point in the second half, and they didn't allow any touchdown for the Bills, where the Bills only scored 3 field goals. The Cardinals dominated both sides of the ball, the offense and the defense, and they deserved this victory. And they won the game 29-9. With this victory, the Arizona Cardinals improved to a record of 5-4. I think that they are leading the NFC West, and the Chicago Bears fell to a 500 record 4-4. In another game, the Philadelphia Eagles defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 28-23. After the game, the Eagles had an easy game. I'm not gonna to lie. They have an easy game and they had the game under control in the first half of the third quarter. But after that, the Eagles relaxed its football, and they like that the Jaguars took advantage of that. The Eagles made some mistakes like the fumbles, interception, and didn't finish the drives. And the Jaguars took advantage of that, where the Jaguars had the opportunity to win this game, to be honest, in the last minutes of the game, but they couldn't because Trevor Lawrence threw one interception in the last minutes of the game, and the Eagles won the game 28-23, and they improved to a record of 6-2, and the Jacksonville Jaguars fell to a record of 2-7, and they are eliminated. The most and something amazing is the big play that the Psycho Barkley did in the first half, where he make a backfield jump, and this was amazing. In another divisional game, the Los Angeles Rams visited Seattle and defeated 26-20 the Seattle Seahawks in overtime. But this was a surprise because I thought that the Seattle Seahawks were gonna to win this game because they were in home, but the Rams got the victory. And even if this was more a surprise because the Seahawks were leading in the halftime 13-3. I thought that in that game that the Seattle Seahawks had the game under control and they were gonna to win this game, but not. The Rams improved his game. They scored 10 points in the third quarter and they tied the game. In the fourth quarter, the Rams had the leading of the game with less than 2 or 3 minutes to play. The Seahawks ran an offense drive and they scored a touchdown and they tied the game. In the overtime, the Seattle Seahawks had the first drive of the overtime. They had the opportunity to win this game, but I think that the Geno Smith threw an interception or made a fumble. The Los Angeles Ram took advantage of that, and they scored a touchdown and they won the game 26-20. With this victory, the Rams improved to a record of 4-4, and the Seahawks fell to a record of 5-4, and they are one game behind 500. In another divisional game, the Detroit Lions visited Green Bay and defeated the Packers 24-14. You can see the score and say that this was a close game, but to be honest, this wasn't a close game because the Lions had an easy game. They had the game under control, and the Packers reduced the difference because the Detroit Lions had the game under control in the third quarter, and they relaxed this game and they allowed 8 points in the fourth quarter. The Lions were leading 73 in the half time. They scored another 7 points in the first minutes of the third quarter, and in that moment, the game was over. The Packers scored 11 points with an answer, but because the Lions relaxed its football because they had the game under control, and the Lions won the game 24-14. With this victory, the Lions improved to a record 7-1, and the Packers fell to a record 6-3. And in the Sunday Night Football, the Minnesota Vikings defeated 21-13 the Indianapolis Colts. I'm not going to lie, this was very bored game. Both teams play a very bad football, but because the Vikings are a little better than the Colts, for that reason they won this game. The the Indianapolis Colts were leading the game 7-0 in the halftime. I thought that the Colts were gonna to win this game because the Vikings offenses wasn't playing a very great football, and this was this touchdown by the Colts was by interception because the Colts couldn't score a touchdown in the offense. The Vikings took advantage of that. They made it adjustment, and in the second half, they scored 21 points, and they won the game 21-13. With this victory, the Vikings improved to a record of 6-2, and they could back-to-back losses. And about the Colts, they fell to a record of 5-4. They had a losing record for. Joe Flacco played a very bad football, but it looked like that the Indianapolis the Colts head coach say that Joe Flacco will be the starting quarterback for the rest of the for the season, even that these offenses didn't throw a touchdown, and Anthony Richardson is going to be benched for the rest of the week. And the last game of the day, of the week, the Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 30-24 in overtime. But this is a typical game of the Kansas City Chiefs where they play a very bad first half. They were trailing in the end of the third quarter, but in the fourth quarter, the Chiefs improved its football level, especially in the offense side, where the defense tried to always try to reduce that gap, because in the fourth quarter is when the Chiefs made its adjustment. They tied the game in the fourth quarter, and they won the game 30-24. The Chiefs tied the game in the fourth quarter. This was sent to overtime 24-24, and the Chiefs got the first possession in the overtime. They scored a touchdown, and they won the game 30-24. Patrick Mahomes played a very great football where they scored 3 touchdowns, and it looked like that the Kansas City Chiefs offenses is reacting, and you need to be very careful because in the first 6-7 weeks the Chiefs offenses hadn't been playing a very great football, but now they are playing, and you need to be scared. With this victory, the Chiefs improved to a record 8-0. They are undefeated, and it looks like that they are gonna to finish undefeated for the rest of the year. And the Buccaneers fell to a record of 4-5, and they have a losing record. So, who are the standings are through our 9 week of games in the AFC East? The Bills are going to win this division because they have a 4-game advantage against the second place. They are the Jets. The Bills have a record of 7-2, and the rest of the teams have a losing record. It looks like that the Jets will be the only team that could fight to enter to the playoffs, but it looks difficult. And the most probably is that the Dolphins, Patriots, and Jets are eliminated. In the AFC West, the Chiefs are the best team, the best record team. They are undefeated, and they are leading the AFC. In this division, the Chargers and the Broncos are fighting to enter to the playoffs. The Chargers are in the second place with a record of 5-3, and the Broncos have a record of 5-4, and the Raiders are in the bottom, and they are eliminated. In the AFC North, my Steelers are leading the division with a record of 6-2. They have a 3 winning streak, but they didn't play this week. The Ravens are in the second place with a record of 6-3. The Bengals are trying to enter to the playoffs, but it looks difficult. They need to start to winning games. If not, they're going to be eliminated, and the Browns are eliminated. And in the AFC South, the Texans are leading the division 6-3. They lost, but because the Colts lost, they have 2-game advantage against the Colts because they won the 2 games. The Titans and the Jaguars are eliminated. In the NFC, is the Commanders are leading the division 7-2. The Eagles are in the hunt to win this division 6-2, and these two teams are going to fight to win this division and to enter to the playoffs. The Cowboys have a losing record 3-5. They are two games behind 500. They are trying to enter to the hunt to the playoffs, but it looks difficult. And the Giants are eliminated in the NFC West. This is a very great division because everything is close. The Cardinals have a record, are leading the division with a record of 5-4. They have 3 winning streak. The Rams are the same. They have the 3 winning streak, but they have a one less game played. The Rams and the 49ers have the same record 4-4, but because the Rams defeated the 49ers in the first game between both of them, for that reason they are in second. In the second, the Rams and the Seahawks are in the border of the division with a record of 4-5, and they have 2 losing streak. This division is very close because you can see here that there is only 1 game different for the first place to the fourth place, and everything can happen. In the NFC North, the best division of the NFL, the Lions are leading the division, and I think that they are leading the conference. They have a record of 7-1. They have a 6 winning streak, and they have a 2 game advantage against the Vikings because they won the first game between these two teams. The Vikings have a record of 6-2. They could two back losses. The Packers that lost, they are in the third place 6-3, and the Bears are in the bottom of the division. They have a record of 4-4, and they have 2 losing streak. And it looks like that the Bears are gonna to far in away to enter to the playoffs because they have 2 games behind the Packers. And the last division of the NFL in the NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons had an easy lead. They have a record at 6-3. They have 2 winning streak, and they have 3 game advantage against the Buccaneers because the Falcons won both games. The Buccaneers have a record of 5-4, but they have 3 losing streak. They need to start 2 winning games. If not, they're gonna to be eliminated, and the most probably they're not gonna to win this division. And the Panthers and the Saints are 2 of the worst teams in the league, and they are eliminated. So in this video, I talk about what happened in the NFL 2024 season week 9, how are the NFL standings are through our 9 week of games. So I hope you've liked this video, and if you have any comment or suggestion, you can let me one comment here in my Substack blog or in any of my Spotify or YouTube channels. So see you next video. Junior.